Dr. Jazz. Dr. Jazz.
Before that, even
Oh,
she she was in Toronto one summer, and we were both in high school, and
oh,
she
wow.
was staying at a friend of mine's house for a few days,
Wow.
and I think we we hung out one afternoon or something like that, and then she's a year or two younger than I am, and so she came to Berkeley towards the end of the time that I was there, and yeah, and then we just we played in school a fair bit. I but not too much, a little bit here and there, and then yeah, we were friendly for sure, like we were pals, and we did some playing with Christian too,
Mm,
at school and at Wally's and other stuff,
yeah,
and then we just basically yeah, we were out of touch for some time, and then yeah, and then we really hadn't talked in a number of years, and then she just said, "Hey, I'm doing this new thing, and I want guitar, and I want it to just be trio, and it's going to be this kind of thing," and that was the and she had a concert in New York to
mm,
try out a lot of this music, and so and that was the beginning of that Emily's D.
the
Oh, yeah,
evolution.
exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. And so that was with yeah, that was
that's a killer one. Yeah,
her and I first started playing together again,
yeah,
or as adults, as non-college
yeah.
kids. Yeah. So that was like, I guess that was right after I um had stopped playing with Christian. So it was actually like really good
Like a good
really
thing.
good
Yeah,
timing.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
definitely. But you mentioned this record. You guys worked with Tony Visconti, right? On that one.
Yes. Yeah, we did. So
And how was that like? I mean, like for you or like for
it
all
was
of
kind
you?
of fun. I mean, it was. I mean, I'm a fan, right? And
Yeah.
so, and but he was very relaxed, like
Oh,
really,
okay.
really chill. He was just
No
like
Phil Spector attitude then, like
what was that?
like no Phil Spector attitude, like
No Phil Spector attitude. No, he was really, really relaxed. He, we did the Esperanza did basically what he was. I think he was basically the. She cut most of the vocals and the additional vocals at his studio,
mm,
and the majority of the record was made in LA,
mm,
and then yeah, it was actually really interesting because I'm trying to remember, it was that record went through like a crazy long genesis of different recordings. So basically, like it there was one gig, and then there was a bunch of recording before there was any touring. So there was
mm,
one gig, and then we did a whole bunch of recording with trio with her and Kareem Riggins and I, and then
mm.
we did, and then Justin joined the band, and we did like a whole bunch of touring, and then as naturally happens, the music it evolved
Yeah.
and changed pretty substantially over that time, and then she wanted to basically re-record the entire album,
Oh wow.
and we re we re-recorded everything, but we did it in this um, really crazy way. We like it was live. It was live. It was at a studio called NRG in LA,
Hmm.
and there was an audience that was invited, and then we just played the songs and they recorded it.
Oh
And
wow, that's
so it
cool.
was like it was off the floor in a in a
Yeah.
in a studio though. And then I think the final album is about, I'd say it's two-thirds from that, like off the floor session, and then a third from the earlier session.
Yeah.
Um, and then with Tony, it was basically just vocal stuff, and then some guitar layers and things like that, And he was
Oh,
just like, he was pretty relaxed, He'd make a suggestion here or there, but by and large, he was just like kind of there cheering us on. He was cool.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's so cool, man. Yeah,
yeah,
Esperanza, you seem to be doing like all these, also that exposure stuff.
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
How was that like for you? I mean, I watched the other day some videos, and it's so
I
funny,
mean, that
man.
was
It's like,
crazy. That was insane. I don't, yeah. I mean, that was leading up to that. It was unbelievably stressful.
yeah, I
Uh,
can believe it.
and by the time, and then it kind of, I think that pretty quickly everybody adjusted to it being just what was happening and just did it. But
Yeah,
man, it feels like kind of like some weird fever dream because it's kind of insane, right? Like I mean, it really not only are you learning all this really complex music and do in real time and
yeah,
trying to produce this record with everybody in real time, but everybody's like, but it's everybody's watching you do it, and
yeah.
and and it just feels very